This is a 600 watt power supply. So what we'll do is talk about the different features and what you get in the box, and then we'll do a quick test. So first off, this is the main part of the panel. If you flip it over, this is the top. It has a nice sturdy handle. This is around 18 pounds and it feels every bit 18 pounds. It's pretty chunky compared to some of my other small portable ones, but you can power a lot more things a lot longer. So that's why I like this one compared to some of the other smaller units where I can't power things as long, maybe an hour or two. This one will power things for quite a while. So it's a hefty one. So first we have the LED light. So you have just the simple turning it on. You see the display here. Then you have the light here, and then you have a brighter, and then it has 3 sets of brightness. Then it has the quick flash, it has the slow flash, and then it's off. Now here you have the input to charge it. I'll show that accessory in just a few minutes, but this is how you charge the unit. And then, like I said before, you have the display. Once you turn it on, it'll tell you the percentage, it'll tell you the watts, and then if you turn these on, it'll tell you each one. If you turn all of these on, the fan is on, but it tells you how long the unit will run. But if I just turn this and this off, it'll say I have about 71 hours off of USB, depending on how many watts I'm using. So it'll kind of gauge how long you have based off of how much, oops, let's turn that off, based off of how much you have plugged into it. And then turn that off, and here we go. So I'm at 28%, I haven't charged it yet, but I will charge it to 100 later. And then going from there, you have a 12 volt port or cigarette lighter port, and then you have 2 DC ports. Here you have USB-C, 60 watts, and then you have 2 USB-A, I'm sorry, 3 USB-A. And then you have 2 plugs here. Now right here, you have a jump starter plug. The only drawback to this is that you cannot, they don't come in the bag. You have to buy it separately. It's like $29. One thing I might try, because it does look very similar to other ones. Nope, they're both rounded, so I can't. You will have to buy their proprietary one. I have some other ones, but they're not rounded on both sides. One has a straight edge, so I won't be able to use any of my other ones from different ones. So you do have to use their proprietary cable for this. Like I said, it's $29 on Amazon, and that's a separate purchase. It does not come with it. Now, the extended battery function, couldn't find too much about it, but apparently at some point, I can't find anything online, they'll have a separate battery that kind of looks like this, but it's just a battery to power this. So say you want something even longer, you'll have a separate unit that it's similar to this, but doesn't have as many of the inputs. And then you also have to get a P3500 cord that'll connect this to the extra battery, and then you pretty much get double the power. So haven't really seen too much about it. They mentioned in the instruction booklet, but there's not a whole lot. So hopefully in the future they'll come out with more detail about that. With that is pretty much the extent of the unit here. And then you do get a instruction booklet. Make sure you look over it. A lot of good information. Don't lose this. And then let's check out what else you get in the box. So you also get a charger, 12-volt charger. You plug it in to the DC input and then put it into your car to charge this thing up. Then you also get a plug, which I'll show you here. And these both go together. You can plug it into the wall, also again into the DC input here, and then that would also to charge the unit. Now it does have an auto shut-off feature. If it's not drawing any power, after 6 hours it will turn off. So keep that in mind. There's no off button. As long as you have all of these buttons turned off, it will turn off on its own. But if I have this turned on, so, oops, there we go. If I have this, like one of these turned on, like so you can see it here, then it'll stay on for 6 hours. If there's no power being drawn, it'll turn off automatically. So a good measure when you're done, you want to store it. Make sure you turn all these different DC, USB, and AC off completely so it'll shut off by itself. I think it's like 30 seconds or something like that. So with that, let's get to some of the testing. So this is just a quick example of how I would use the unit. So say if there was a power outage and my family still wanted to watch TV while we were bored or we didn't want to play board games, I'd still have this setup of my TV, the Fire TV, and then my cell phone for wireless because our router would be down because there'd be no power. So let me show you how it would be set up. So first here, I turn on the AC power. You can see it's on, and then I have 99 hours so far. And then once everything kicks in, you'll see it change. So I'll turn the TV on, and the Fire TV, and you can see everything starts up. While we're doing that, I'll also show you the USB. You can see, let me turn that off for a second. And then once I press the USB, turn that on, you see that pops on and now it's charging. So now, if I wanted to turn on the Wi-Fi so I could use a hotspot, so I could tether it to my Fire TV so we could watch internet, I could do that. And so right now, with everything on, we have about 6.5 hours. With it fully charged, I can get about 6 hours-ish, depending. So by then, I think we should have our power back up and things would be good to go. So and then you can see here, I don't have, see, here's the Wi-Fi, everything's on. We're good to go. And I could watch for about, you can see it changed a little bit. So now we're at 3 hours now that everything is fully functional and on. So I have about 3 hours now. So you have to watch how much wattage it's using per everything. Right now I'm only using about 142. So I'm barely using anything of its max capacity.